I'm 77 years old, and I've been sitting with a truth that took most of my life to understand. I lost the best years of my life waiting to feel ready, and by the time I realized it, those years were already gone. I don't say that with drama. I say it the way you say something when there's no one left to impress and no reason to pretend it turned out differently. At my age, time feels different. It doesn't stretch forward anymore. It gathers behind you. Most days, I'm aware that more of my life is memory than possibility now. I'm not bitter about that. It's just where I am. I'm telling this because I don't need to hold it inside anymore, and because someone listening still has time in front of them, even if they don't realize it yet. When I was younger, I thought readiness was something you reached, like a point on a map. Like one day you'd wake up and feel prepared to live the life you kept postponing. In my 20s, I was careful. That's what I called it. I worked a steady job, paid my bills, tried not to disappoint anyone. I told myself I was being responsible. I said I'd travel later, love more openly later, take risks later, speak honestly later. Later became my favorite word. In my 30s, life got fuller. Marriage, routines, obligations. I woke up early, came home tired, ate dinner in front of the television more often than I like to admit. I had ideas back then, thoughts that stayed with me on long drives, conversations I wanted to have but didn't know how to start. There were moments when something inside me would press forward, quietly. A sense that I was moving through days without being fully present in them. But I always had a reason to wait. The timing wasn't right. Money needed saving. People were counting on me. So I stayed where I was. I told myself stability was a kind of happiness. In my 40s, I started noticing how fast years moved when they were all the same. Weekdays blurred together, weekends disappeared into chores. There were birthdays I attended distracted, anniversaries I marked out of obligation instead of joy, phone calls I rushed through because I was tired. Nothing was wrong enough to force change, and that was the danger of it. I didn't fail dramatically. I succeeded quietly at a life that never fully fit me. The cost didn't arrive all at once. It came in small, unremarkable ways. A friend I stopped calling because we'd catch up soon. A weekend trip I postponed until work slowed down. A conversation with my wife where I said, maybe later, instead of, tell me now. I didn't see those moments as decisions. I saw them as delays. I thought time was something I could borrow from endlessly. I thought the future would be more generous than the present. By my 50s, the world had moved on without asking me if I was ready. People aged, parents grew fragile, children became adults with lives of their own. I remember standing in the kitchen one evening, looking at the clock, realizing I couldn't remember the last time I'd felt excited about tomorrow. Not sad, just neutral. That frightened me more than any crisis would have. Still, I waited. I waited to change careers, waited to say what I felt, waited to become the version of myself I kept imagining. I told myself I was being patient. What I was really being was afraid. Not afraid of failure, afraid of discovering that I'd waited for nothing. The moment that finally broke through came quietly, like everything else. My wife got sick. Not suddenly, not dramatically, just a diagnosis delivered in a calm voice by a tired doctor. The kind of moment that makes the room feel smaller. We sat in the car afterward without speaking. I remember thinking, absurdly, that I still hadn't done the things I meant to do. She passed 2 years later. Grief has a way of stripping away excuses. When someone is gone, you stop imagining future conversations. There's no later left to lean on. I stood at her funeral, listening to people describe our life together, and I realized how much of it I had sleepwalked through. I loved her, I truly did, But love without presence leaves a thin record behind. After she was gone, I had time. All the time I thought I needed, and nowhere meaningful to put it. The dreams I postponed felt awkward in my hands. The energy they required no longer lived in me. Friends had moved on. My body didn't cooperate the way it once had. I finally understood that readiness isn't something you feel before you act. It's something that grows only after you have begun. And by then, my beginning had passed. There are things that can't be fixed once they've aged out of possibility. You can't go back and be more present with someone who's no longer here. You can't reclaim years spent waiting without knowing what you were waiting for. You can't explain to your younger self what it feels like to realize the window has closed. I don't wake up every day in regret, but it visits me often, like an old acquaintance. It shows up when I see couples walking slowly together, when I hear laughter from another apartment, when I remember how many ordinary days I treated as disposable. If you're listening to this and you're still waiting to feel ready, I understand. Waiting feels safe. It feels like control. It feels like you're avoiding mistakes. What I didn't know is that waiting is a decision too, and it has consequences even when nothing goes wrong. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I don't have instructions. I only know this: the life you keep postponing doesn't wait with you. It keeps moving. Readiness doesn't arrive with certainty. It arrives with time already spent. If something matters to you, it will always feel inconvenient. If someone matters, there will never be a perfect moment. I thought I'd feel ready someday. Instead, I feel older. I have some years left, not many. I try to use them honestly. I speak when I feel something now. I don't assume there will be another chance. That doesn't undo the past. It just makes the present quieter. If this meant something to you, sit with it for a moment. Not to act, not to fix anything, just to notice what you're postponing. That awareness alone would have changed my life. I'm 77 now, and I finally understand what readiness really costs.